Thank you for the kind presentation and for the kind invitation to be with you today. I would like to welcome all the friends from the other parts of Greece that are here. I can see some from Athens, from Corinthos. Oops. Okay, I don't do it. I can see here also visitors from Athens, from Germany, from all around Europe. I would like to make a quick review of the 5 years that we have. So the main issues that we have is the virus, the pandemic, the lockdowns, vaccines and mandatory vaccination. And in my opinion, the main issue is the first. Because the first is the main objective that created all the others. So if we didn't have the virus, all the others would be a history. So the important is to understand the virus. So we start from 2020. That is the year of the fear. 2020 is the year of the fear.
Let's make a song. Year of fear.
And this is the important date, January 29, because it is my birthday. But also because it's the date of publication, January 29, 2020. The COVID is coronavirus disease 19, which means that appeared 2019, correct? So we have January 29 of 2020, a very famous paper. It is published in Elsevier. During my presentation, I will also try to explain to you that all the publishing houses are fake, are not telling the truth. Okay, and I will prove it. And this Elsevier was presented also in previous presentations. Even the first one presented this Elsevier when Svab was greeting the other lady from Norway. It was by Elsevier. So Elsevier is the publisher who is publishing this paper. And look the names. Παρασκευής, Κωστάκη, Μαγιορκίνης, Παναγιωτακόπουλος, Σουρβίνος and Tsiomas. Greek names. Okay, Greek names. We are the lucky in the University of Patras that Panagiotopoulos is a member of the Medical School of Patras. The others are from Athens. Okay. So what they said, that they managed to analyze the full genome of this virus, the coronavirus 2019, and they reject the hypothesis that the virus is developed, is recombinant by the humans. So they support the concept that this virus is a natural virus. One of the millions viruses that exist, question mark, exist, I don't know if exist, in the human body. I know that the microbes, the bacteria exist, but I don't know about the viruses. Okay. So let's say that this is a paper end of January, and the important in any paper is not the type. The important is the small letters. So if someone is a bit experienced in publishing and writing papers, he can see that the same paper is saying the following. The paper was sent by the authors 27th of January, 2 days before my birthday. It was accepted the day after, 28th of January. And it was published during the next day, which is my name day, my birthday. Okay. So they accepted and the experience in writing papers know that you send the paper, 2 or 3 reviewers are receiving the paper, they study the paper, they send comments to the authors, blah blah blah. And it takes, let's say, 1 month, 1.5. They send it back and all this. So, but this good Greek scientist managed, it's a world record, to publish in 1 day. 1 day. And you say, oh, why this is happening? Why this is happening? Because, why this is happening? Okay, and severe. Because some months later, March 7 of 2020, a month later, another paper is appearing, this time in a famous journal, The Lancet. If we speak about impact factor, the previous one was 3-4 impact factor. This one is now 200, not 9, not 45, 200. The most famous journal in medical science. So they published this paper, and all the scientists, and please have a look at this name, Peter Daszak. EcoHealth Alliance is the name of the NGO that he is director, and Christian Drosten. So they published this statement in Lancet in support of the scientists, public health professionals and medical professionals of China combating it, which means that they support the scientists to claim that the virus is a natural, which means that the virus is the result of a fly with a bird and a dog somewhere in the Wuhan market, that they made sex, all of them, and they prepare the virus, which is natural product. And again, the important is in the details, not in the title. So all these guys are writing that they support all this, and listen here. Conspiracy theories do nothing but create fear, rumors, and prejudice that jeopardize our global collaboration in the fight against the virus. So, all of you that you don't believe that the virus is natural are sects in Greek, which means you are conspiracy theories. Okay. And the other important is that one of the references, we are so proud that among the references we are having the papers of our colleagues. So, Paraskevis, Kostakis, Magyorkinis, et al., which was published, again my birthday, they published this, and now all these guys are making reference that the good science around the world know that virus is a natural product, not recombinant. So all of you that believe that it is a recombinant are sick. But this is beginning of 2020. And it was not only these famous Greek scientists in universities, but we have also another famous Greek scientist. His name is Antonarakis. Antonarakis is coming from Geneva. He's famous because he's the guru of gene analysis, genome analysis, etc. So he's writing in a Greek newspaper that the new coronavirus is not a lab product. It's not. And he's sending a letter to Montagnier. He's sending Antonarakis, he's sending a letter to Montagnier. And say, Montagnier, you are stupid. I know that you have received the Nobel Prize, but okay, you are an old man and you have lost your mind. Is it possible that you believe that the virus is recombinant and developed in a lab? It's a natural product. Αντωναράκης, του Μοντανιέ, λέει. Great Αντωναράκης. Anybody knows him. So, he sent this letter. And 3 days ago, we have the results of a 2 years investigation from the subcommittee of the American Congress, 550 pages, that proves that the virus is a lab product developed in Wuhan labs. And all the following mutations, μεταλλάξεις κλπ, are the same product from the lab. So, please send a letter to Adonarachis and to Majorkinis and to all the other guys with this picture and explain to them that they are stupid. Because all these papers are useless, are saying lies. But the question, just for thinking, why all these scientists are saying lies? Why Panagiotakopoulos and Majorkinis and Tsiodras wrote this paper beginning of 2020? Who told them to write it? With a good friend, we have developed a video which is called Pandimagogi. Google and find it in YouTube because you will understand in this video, in this YouTube video, the story of all these events one after the other. At that time, a group of Greek scientists, a bit more serious, because my name is also there, have written this paper again to Elsevier. At that time, I was a bit, not so clever to understand what is happening. A bit stupid, but anyway. So we sent a letter to ToxRep, Toxicology Reports, Elsevier, and we said that this is end of 2020, published December 3, and we said that, okay, in Greece, we have suffered a lot with all these lockdowns, all these SMS to go out, to go to the toilet, we ask the permission to take the dog out, all this. So we believe that lockdowns are not the good option. We can work with primary and community health care. And among the authors, you can see some well-known Greeks like Kostas is a colleague of mine, Kouretas now is the head of the region in Thessalia, Apostos Vandarakis is here in Patras, Loxinidis Michalis the same, Kouvelas is the known Dimitris Kouvelas, but also many others, Tatsakis, etc. So we wrote this just for the history, to have our names under this paper. So, the next 2 years, 2021, 2022, is the years of the pressure. The years that the pressure is happening, and but the same stupid scientist said that when science is involved with politics, and politics is involved with science, then people die. If these two important things are involved one with the other, then the people are dying. And this is in beginning of 2021, when the vaccines are starting appearing. And the next, in my opinion, the next important event that was a shock for me was this paper. Between us, I was one of the reviewers, but don't tell it. So, Waller et al. Sent a paper that the safety of COVID-19 vaccination is under question, and we should rethink the policy. And it was published mid-2021. All the reviewers with minor or major changes accepted the paper. This journal is the journal Vaccines, the MDPI is the publisher, MDPI, and in 3 days after publication, the editor of the journal decided to retract it without informing the reviewers, at least. What's the problem with the paper? They decided to retract it. These guys, a bit later, published the same paper in another journal, lower impact factor. This is a journal of impact factor about 5, not a good one. But at that time, you couldn't publish to any of the good journals something about vaccines. Then we have some other very, academics and academicians and famous scientists like Chrysos. Chrysos is a person who is coming from Patras. He's a professor of pediatrics, ex-professor, now is a emeritus professor, member of Greek Academy, and in September the same year, he said that the vaccines for children are effective and safe, 100%, 100%, and he's signing it, that the vaccines are safe and effective. And at that time, we are having also the press release of the Gyno and Gynecologists Association, that they claim that all the children in Greece should be vaccinated and don't be afraid of any side effects because the vaccines are totally safe.
The pregnancy.
And the pregnant and everybody, even the dogs. But at that time again, the same professor is saying that the virus was an experiment, and with this experiment there are Greeks that are collaborating. You remember the previous publication. Beginning 2021, we have an event in here, Platia Georgiou Square, and the same professor from the university here, the sex professor, is saying that we're speaking about mutations that are constructed in the lab. And why the government is insisting in mandatory vaccination, since vaccines cannot help in the mutations. It's useless. Why this is happening? So the head of the Patras doctors, a lady, asked the court to come and punish me because I said non-scientific words, and also asked the rector to punish me, to make me die. So please send to them the same report. Okay, because the Patras Medical Association made an extra, meeting to speak about myself. I had the honor that all of them, the nothing, were gathered to speak about myself and to decide that I should be in the court. I visited the court and I gave them 2,000 pages of papers about the vaccines. So the next very great surprise to myself was this paper. Again the same Elsevier. This is a paper by famous doctors. Is Stephanie Senev, is Peter Magalov, and a Greek, Anton Kyriakopoulos. Okay. So they sent this paper in the journal which is called Food and Chemical Toxicology. The editor is a Spanish guy, colleague of mine, and known to me, very well known. He's co-author in the paper about the lockdowns, etc. So this editor of the journal, asked the authors to bring papers about vaccines, toxic effects of vaccines, etc. So this paper was submitted to the journal. 6 reviewers. 6 reviewers of the journal. The journal is 5-6 impact factor, medium. 6 reviewers of the journal, 5 of them said to be published. The paper says that SARS-CoV-2 vaccinations are destroying the innate immune system. I mean, the heart of the human immune system is damaged by the vaccines. And this is published, and Elsevier in 15 days is changing the editor of the journal. And the editor of the journal is sending this paper, I was one of the reviewers, this paper and another one speaking about ivermectin to the bullshit. But this was not managed to be retracted, this one. The other for ivermectin from a Spanish group was retracted at that time. Because claiming from clinical data that ivermectin was beneficial for the patients. So the journal is changing the editor, and all of us who were reviewers of the journal decided not to review papers for this journal anytime. So next years, 2023 now and for the following years, we are in the era of Great Awakening. Great Awakening, which means that they started with the fear. They managed to create the fear in the hearts of the people. Okay. They started to put pressure on us for vaccination. Fines if you are not vaccinated. The medical staff was not able to go to the job without being vaccinated. Okay, they were kicked out of the hospitals. But it is 2 years now that we have started the Great Awakening. And the Great Awakening is coming with this book, for example. This is the Greek translation of the real Anthony Fauci book, which is written by Robert Kennedy. This is an English book, and it is translated in many languages. Two of these is the Romanian and the Greek. In Romania, it was translated by Mariana Oada, a Greco-Romanian doctor, and the introduction of the book was done by Georgescu. Do you know who is Georgescu?
No.
He's the recently elected president in Romania who made the introduction, okay, that they cancelled the elections after his election as first, in the first round. The Romanian government decided that it was illegal. They cancelled his elections, and the elections will follow again without him, because he is guilty for participating in the elections and taking advice by the Russians. When the Americans are giving advice, it is okay, no problem. If the Russians is giving advice, it's a problem, because the people are manipulated. Just to mention that in the Greek edition, the introduction is done by 2 people. One is Karpathiou, Father Karpathiou, and the other is Professor Pulás from the university. So, to come to the conclusion, these are the numbers of vaccinations, and now we are in the awakening era. Okay, people were, after the fear, after the lies, after the pressure, they started being vaccinated. But for the last 2 years, nobody is going to receive this, the God's gift. The vaccine is the God's gift. Why people are not going to receive the gift of the God? Why? Why? In my opinion, this is my opinion, people around us have understood 90% that this is a dangerous product and it is having many side effects and it is offering zero for the immunity of your body. They have understood it. And the people are reacting in three ways. The one way, the 30%, are angry with the authorities and the others who force them for the vaccination. And they are starting speaking. What they have done to me, I am ill, my family, I made a fault, my children, and they know it. Another 30% know it, but they don't want to speak because if they speak, all of us will say to them that they are stupid. And people do not like to be thought as stupid. They want to be behaved by the others as normal people. And there is another 30% who have understood it. They don't want to receive it, but in order to support the story, are going to do the 6, 7, 8 vaccination. And then they are dying. This happened with the Greek Manusakis. Manusakis died a week ago from leukemia. He has done 8 vaccines, and he said some months ago that if it is possible, he would like to go in a bathtub to have a bath with vaccines. Imagine how stupid people are. They cannot understand that this is a medical thing that you are doing and it's having side effects. So, here we are. And what we can do now? What we can do now is to help, if we can, the people around us who have received, and they want to be helped. And they want to be helped. If they don't want, sorry, go alone. So, the vaccines are medical weapons, are working in many different ways. If somebody tells you that there is an antidote for the vaccine, it's a lie. Because the RNA is entering the cell, is entering the nucleus of the cell, is interacting with the DNA as Professor Koutsoukos explained, is incorporated in it, is expressed and produced after the incorporation. But the other characteristic of the vaccines is that the spike protein, spike is a famous toxic spike protein, is produced all the time. They live with the spike in their body. So, what we can do is to try to remove or to destroy the spike protein. And with Professor Dr. Kyriakopoulos, one of the co-authors of the papers that I mentioned before, we are now, okay, I have written this small textbook with advice about spike detox, only the spike, the protein detox, and we are developing with him a very sensitive analytical methodology to be able to identify the spike which is in the blood, in the serum of the vaccinated, in order to help them to quantify, quantify the protein and understand if any of the methods that will be used for detoxification will have results. So I would like to finish offering, this is the translation of the book that Professor Koutsoukos mentioned. This is a book of
It's Greek.
Okay, it's Greek. What can I do? It's translation. The original is.
I will show it to Michael Mann.
Yes, I am in contact with him, and I have taken. So this is the translation of the book, and I edit this book alone. I also would like to offer to you. I have some more. And the other book that I have is this one. Which is it's a reportage, it's a documentary of that era of the big pressure, with the statements on the one page of all these nice guys, Vasilakopoulos, Mallorquini, all these Pagoni, yes. Many lawyers saying that it is under the law to receive it. It is under the law. If they make it mandatory, it is according to the. And on the other side, you will see some statements. For example, there is a Greek professor called Vathiotis, and we have some statements of him, statements of others, papers that are trying to make it, to compare, so that the people can understand what happened at that time. Σας εγώ προβληματισμένο.
Ναι, θα τον Ιωαννίδη. Ο Ιωαννίδης μας είπε ότι τα εμβόλια ωφέλησαν. Και εδώ τι γίνεται.
Λοιπόν, thank you very much.